We're going to walk you through the installation of the J&L oil separator, including the J&L oil separator kit. It's an oil separator, mounting bracket, hose clamp, mounting screws, and zip tie, along with 2 hose assemblies. The tools you're going to need for installation is a 10mm socket, a 1/4 inch socket, extension, and ratchet. You'll need a pair of needle nose pliers. The longer the better, but a standard pair will work. Standard pair of pliers, Phillips head screwdriver, a small flathead screwdriver is helpful but not required, and light grease or oil. Let's get started. First thing we're going to do is take the J&L mounting bracket and oil separator. We're going to align the logos and install the bracket onto the can with the supplied screws. We're going to mount our oil separator. On the passenger side, at the coolant expansion tank, we're going to remove this 10mm bolt at the back. We're going to grab our J&L assembly, use the same bolt, and reinstall the bolt. I'm not going to tighten this bolt all the way up yet because we're going to connect the hoses to it, get everything where it wants to lay out, and then we'll snug it down. Now our PCV line is actually back here, but we're going to remove this little hose tree assembly to buy us some more space because it's pretty tight quarters back there. Now to do that, there's these 2 plastic caps. They just simply unscrew to sit them to the side. And then there's a single 10mm nut that is holding this bracket to the firewall. So we're going to remove that nut. And then we're going to remove the hose from this hard pipe here. So you're going to take your pair of pliers, squeeze that clamp, bring it back, and then with your pliers, you're going to want to twist this hose. So just grab it lightly. And it should twist right off. Like that. Remove it from your bracket. And then we're just going to kind of tuck that behind this master cylinder cap. So that allows us more space to access the PCV line. Our next step, we have another clamp on our PCV line. So I'm going to take my long pair of needle nose. Again, a short pair would work too. And I'm going to push that clamp down. Now this hose will be pretty stuck on here like this one. It's going to be the same method. You're going to have to kind of grab it and twist it. The problem is you don't have a lot of space back here. So what I do, kind of grab it with my needle nose, and I just want to twist it and start to break it. This hose has already been off once, so it's a little easier this time. But I want to break that seal free while I pull on the line, and that'll pop it right off. Expect a little bit more resistance when you do yours. You could also grab the hose down further with your pair of pliers and try to pull from there. Just take your time, it will come off. You can also use that little flathead screwdriver to try to stick between the hose and the fitting here. Just be careful, it's plastic, and you don't want to puncture your rubber line either. So, but once you get that hose off, that's the hardest part, and now we just need to connect some lines. First hose we're going to connect is to our intake manifold. You're going to want to pre-install your hose clamp. So you're going to want to install it with the screw head pointed towards the 3/8 line. So this will give you better access to it once it's installed. So just slide that on, and then we're going to slide this up our fitting like so. And then once we have that slid up, we're going to move our clamp up, and we're going to want to snug our clamp up. There we go. And now we need to connect our line with the male fitting. So this is going to plug into the factory line that you removed, which is going down to the PCV valve. So we need to get that up here. You're going to plug that in, and then you need to slide that clamp that you removed and slid down the hose. You need to slide that up to complete this connection. So grab your pair of pliers. Slide that up. So you'll be able to see that's connected now. Now we need to make our connections to our oil separator. So you want to keep track of which line is which. This is the line that's running to our intake manifold. So we're going to put a little grease in this, or oil, if you have oil. And you're going to install this onto the C side of the oil separator. So just push that up. And then your line to your PCV, which connected to that factory line, is going to go onto the O side. And now we just want to tighten up our can. So we're going to get this to clear this wiring harness. Not every model has this module here, so you have more space on some models, but I want to get this clear of this wiring harness, which is pretty flexible, especially if you plan on running our extension. So I'm just going to kind of tilt that to the side, and then I'm going to tighten up this bolt. So we're just going to tie up our two lines. I'm actually just going to go around this other line here with our zip tie. And I'm just going to loosely zip tie these. I just want to keep them from falling down on anything they shouldn't be on. So not crazy tight, just enough to hold them. And then we'll cut our zip tie off. And then we just need to reconnect our line and remount our bracket here for this breather line. So I'm going to push that onto there. Slide our clamp back down like that, and then our bracket. Put our nut back on and tighten. Then you can screw your caps back on. And that completes your installation. Now your average collection on these oil separators is about an ounce of oil every 1,000 miles. The can holds 3 ounces. What we suggest for new installations is to check it at about 500 or 1,000 miles, and that'll give you a good idea of how much your vehicle is collecting, because they're all different, even model to model. If you can't remember to check it routinely, you can set a reminder in your phone, like a reoccurring event on a calendar. Maybe check it every 3 to 4 weeks, depending on how much you drive, and that's a good way to keep track of it. Now this can is compatible with our 3-ounce extension, which will double the capacity if you want some more capacity, so you don't have to check it as much, and that can be added at any time. If you have any questions, please reach out, and we'll see you on the next one.